Doug Sermon set to tip it up. It's the dark green home unis for the Baylor Bears, the road whites for the Colorado Buffaloes. And for the second straight game, Mike, youth is served for the Buffaloes. They are starting 4 freshmen tonight for the second straight game.
And that's not by accident or for reasons that you just have to. This is one of the more talented backcourts in the Big 12, and they are the youngest backcourt in the Big 12 as well.
44 in green is Caden Powell. He gives it back up to Isaac Williams. There's the aforementioned Cameron Carr. Ball got knocked out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock for the Bears.
Ball movement, so important for Baylor on the offensive side of the floor. There are times throughout the course of the season where the ball will stick and it'll just stay in the hands of one player. The more ball movement, the better shots that they're going to get.
Here's Williams with 5 on the timer. Guarded by Hargress. Williams comes up short. It touches nothing but air. And here come the Buffaloes on their first offensive possession. Isaiah Johnson, a fantastic freshman in his own right, has the first 2 of the game.
He's a Southern Cal guard, which means he's got some serious shiftiness to his game. So good at playing with pace.
18 points a game in Big 12 play for number 2, the freshman in white, Isaiah Johnson. And the first foul of the game, that's going to be called on number 11, Jalen Holland.
Isaiah Johnson's playing like one of the best freshmen in the country. The issue is there are some of the greatest freshmen we've ever seen in college basketball just in the Big 12 alone. And he's, you want to talk about a kid who's flying under the radar. He's going to get in the weight room, going to get stronger. His talent is big time.
One and done for the Bears for the second straight time. Here come the Buffs. Barrington Hargress on the All Big 12 name team, if no other reason. Number 24 in white turns it over.
Well, you see Baylor switching 5 in a lot of their possessions. It's something they've worked on in shoot-around. Colorado's going to try to attack that. Powell doing a great job on Hargress, who is lightning quick off the bounce.
So here comes Isaac Williams bringing the ball up, the 6'1" sophomore. Transfer from A&M Corpus Christi. Another heralded freshman, Tunde Yesufu, 24 in green. Out to Obi Agdon, and he knocks down the 3 from the top of the key.
Last 2 games, he's been really good from the 3-point line. Feels like he's really starting to find his rhythm within the offense.
Had his most points in Big 12 play last time out against West Virginia with 16. And a whistle before the shot. It'll go on the floor, and it's the first foul on Obi Agdon.
That was the design call by Coach Boyle. They went a guard-on-guard screen on the right side of the floor, and what they did was they tried to get Agdon on Sanders and give Sanders post-up on the right wing.
Having some technical difficulties now. Right now it is 3-2 Baylor with 17:59 to go in the first half. Both teams coming in with 12-9 records. Baylor just 2-7 in the conference, 3-6 in Big 12 play for Colorado. Here's Hargress trying to take advantage of a mismatch with the big man Powell on him, but he can't do it. 7 on the timer. Johnson nearly turned it over. Now 2 on the shot clock. It went up, but it's off the mark, and it's Baylor basketball. Josiah Sanders got it at close range, but couldn't put it through.
Let's watch the defense here. Here's Agbum. Ball pressure was screamed at shoot-around maybe 15 times today by the Baylor coaching staff. They feel that ball pressure is going to be a huge key in their half-court defense to disrupt the freshman guards.
Agbum, a little bit of a heat check, and he's got back-to-back buckets.
That's what he did at Wyoming. He was one of the best scorers in the Mountain West.
So it's Obi Agbum 5, Colorado 2. Now make it Colorado 4. The dime from Johnson to number 11, Jalen Holland, 2 freshmen teaming up on that one.
So good at that live dribble passing. Right off the bounce, quick pass.
Tad Boyle loves the effort and energy that these youngsters bring to this starting lineup. Speaking of freshmen, That's the first bucket of the game for Tunde Yesufu, a McDonald's All-American last year.
I'm not supposed to say this, but he shoots fadeaways like Anthony Edwards. That's the way, like the way his body is built and his elevation on his jumpers.
Spin move, Holland ran into the teeth of the Bears defense, and Cam Carr in the open floor. No whistle, it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Colorado basketball.
You're going to make me say it again, Rich. I'm not supposed to say it again. But watch the spin, how he spins away from the defense, triple teamed, and that right arm is fully elevated and extended with perfect follow through and release. That's as good as it gets in the mid post.
I think a lot of NBA scouts and executives might agree with you, Mike. Slated to be a first-round pick, Tunde Yesufu. Another in a long line of McDonald's All-Americans who found their way to Waco. Right now, it's a 7-4 Baylor lead. 16 minutes to go in the first half. Sanders kept the pivot foot. 3 on the shot clock. Johnson's got to go. And a wild three-point shot that was well guarded by the Baylor D.
Well said by you, specifically Obi Agbum. That was great on-ball pressure defense from Agbum.
When we come back, we'll tell you more about some fabulous freshmen in this game. Stay with us. All the things that he came to Boulder, Colorado to lead this program with are the same things he holds true today. He wants to get young men, he wants to mold them into better young men, and he wants to develop their basketball skills. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's the key. The player development piece is what the freshmen fall in love with over the course of the season.
Well, freshmen are dominating this game so far. 4 points for Tunde Yesufu, Isaiah Johnson with 2 as well, some with Jalen Holland, who has a deuce.
He shoots dribble jumpers like he's a 10-year NBA veteran.
Now some subs on the floor after the under-16 timeout for Tad Boyle. We'll go over those in a second. Let's take a look at this Tunde baseline jumper.
Just watch Yesufu's balance, right? He sees the hedge, bounces away, and then you just look at the follow-through. It's perfect and the same every single time.
Who says the mid-range is dead?
Well, not me.
Love it.
I lived at the mid-range only because I couldn't go in the paint.
Here's Sebastian Ronchik, a former starter, now coming off the bench, and he misses his first shot. Alone McKaylee also on the floor. Sorry, Mike.
No, you're good. Yesufu wants it again. He's screaming for it.
Then got Dak, number 8 in white on defense on Powell. Nice bounce pass. The big man to the little man. Isaac Williams, his first 2.
Isaac Williams is so good at those invisible plays, you know, cutting to create better spacing.
A 6-0 Baylor run, their largest lead of the night. Here's McKaylee, off the mark, the follow by Dak. Second time no good as well. Had some good looks at that one, but couldn't come up with a bucket. Baylor not very deep, playing without Dan Skillings tonight, so that depletes their already depleted lineup. Here's Yesufu, off the mark, offensive putback from Caden Powell, playing in his 114th career game.
Yeah, he's 5th in the Big 12 in offensive rebound percentage. That is what he does best.
Powell, the first ever Waco product to be a scholarship player on a Baylor Bears basketball team. Here's Ronchik. Nice dunk up and under, but he traveled with it.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that, Rich.
And I don't think Ronchik agrees with the call either.
It looked like he kept his left pivot foot down. Could be wrong. He picked it up. He did pick it up. That's a good call. First turnover of the day for me.
And that makes 4 turnovers for Colorado, and Baylor has cashed in to the tune of 5 points in the early going off those turnovers. In the midst of an 8-0 run, they are out to a 13-4 lead in the first half. 13 and a half to go. Carr, no, air ball on the runner.
That felt like he needed to force a shot because he hadn't taken one for a while.
Hargress got it off the glass.
Another guard who shoots a lot, but at a high percentage. I mean, at 6'1", he's shooting 53% from the field. Usually that's a post player that's shooting that kind of field goal percentage.
Here's Michael Rataj, who transferred from Oregon State. Misses his first shot.
Watch Hargress going right at Yesufu, and that finish with the right hand actually throws off Yesufu's block timing. Sometimes when you go same foot, same arm on the opposite side where you're supposed to shoot, it throws off the timing of the blocker.
Barrington Hargress, when you talk about trust factor,
yeah,
that's what he has with Tad Boyle. 14th in the nation in assist to turnover ratio. Obi Agbim has a hot hand in the early going.
You blink, and Agbim can give you 20. He has that kind of hot hand.
He has 8 already. Baylor is 10-2 when Obi scores in double digits. That jumper off the mark. Colorado continues to get good looks and continues to not be able to cash them in. Here's Carr, deep 3. He's an excellent three-point shooter, not on that trick.
We got a mismatch down low with Dak.
Ranchi knocked out of bounds by Cam Carr, and we've reached our under 12 timeout. Baylor up 10.
Look, defense to offense here for Baylor Bears. This is the type of system they want to play in. Go to the other end, rip a 3, Agbim rolling. He's got 8. Anytime in the shot clock, he wants more paint touches and rim attacks to open up the offense.
Here's Isaiah Johnson back on the floor after that last timeout. That one's blocked by James Nagy, making his first appearance in the game. They get Nagy for his first foul.
He's just so important to this Colorado team. When he got subbed out, Colorado's offense stalled completely. Got a little bit on the body there, Rich, maybe? Not much.
Yeah. And Johnson knocks down the first of 2 free throws, an 84% free throw shooter for the freshman.
And even though Coach Boyle will talk about how Johnson needs to continue to get in the weight room to grow and get stronger, he doesn't play weak. And he's fearless, too. This is what you're seeing here is he's an 83% free throw shooter, but he gets to the line a lot. He draws about 6 fouls per 40 minutes. As a point guard, that's pretty big time.
Makes them both. Isaiah Johnson has half of the Colorado points. They have 8, he has 4, and it's an 8-point Baylor lead. One and done after the Agbim miss. Ooh, and Holland, I was gonna say got away with the travel, but the officials were right on top of it. Turnover number 5 for Colorado. Much to the consternation of Tad Boyle.
But he's another talented freshman. He had a pretty solid game against TCU. I think he only had 5 points, he had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, had a block. Those pieces, those building blocks are there for Colorado. Rich, this feels like Yesufu time to me. Made a couple shots, went quiet. There he goes.
Mid-post, working on the freshman Sanders. 10 on the shot clock now. Back to Yesufu. He turns and can't hit the baseline jumper this time, but it's kept alive by Nagy. And Nagy took a shot to the kisser, like he was shot out of a cannon. Isaiah Johnson, but they don't get the call, and it's going to be Baylor basketball.
What a block. Sprinting back in transition, Agbim times it up perfectly because Johnson was flying down the rim. And how about the presence of mind and intelligence of Yesufu to sprint back, save that, throw it off of Colorado. Those are the winning plays that Scott Drew cares about as much as any alley-oop set that he'll draw.
Williams almost lost the handle. Now 15 on the shot clock. Ratai with the ball. The big man drives. Gets hung up by the Colorado defense. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. And that's going to go on the freshman, Fawaz Taco Ifeala. And why is his nickname Taco, Mike O'Donnell?
Well, he had to learn and grow from watching Taco Fall play basketball at UCF. He's one of an all-time UCF legendary basketball players.
Takes one to no one as Ratai hits the first of 2 free throws. In 2 days, the Winter Olympics kicks off with the opening ceremony. Join the celebration on NBC and Peacock. And is there anyone busier in our business than our friend Mike Tirico? Calling his first ever Super Bowl on Sunday. And then a couple days later, he's flying over to Cortina, Italy to host the Olympics for NBC.
He was so good in the Summer Olympics. It was the first time that I got to watch the Olympics with my kids. And the way that he can speak both to me and then to my 7-year-old and 9-year-old to set up the stories, he's an all-time legend.
Well said. Everybody who wears orange at Newhouse in Syracuse appreciates those sentiments. Here's Ronchi. Too hard off the glass. Cam Carr grabs the rebound. Carr still scoreless, averaging 19 a game. But Yesufu has picked up the scoring slack. 7 for him in the early going.
That's a great high IQ hit ahead by Cameron Carr, throwing ahead in semi-transition. Smart play from Carr.
And the Baylor defense has been just as effective. Colorado 1 for their last 9 from the field. Here's Holland into a double team. And it will stay Buffs basketball with 11 on the shot clock.
Cameron Carr throwing ahead. He had his head up the entire time. And Yesufu not shooting it great from 3 this season, but you can see his form. You really got to treat him like he's a 38% three-point shooter.
Yesufu scoring double digits in 19 of the 20 games he's been in. 8 of those times he's gone over the 20-point barrier. And again, just a freshman. But we're getting used to saying that this season in college hoops.
The freshman talent in the Big 12 is, they'll probably have 3. Big 12 will probably have 3 of the top 5 picks in the lottery of the NBA draft this season. I mean, it's going to be incredible to watch.
Who's been the best player you've seen so far?
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot like that. Well, Darren Peterson is the best individual talent in the country. But I think the best player in the Big 12 for all the freshmen of what we've seen in terms of impact winning consistently has been A.J. DeBonsa. And I think that's kind of 1A and 1B for me. Nope, we just stopped talking about Kingston Flemings. If he doesn't score, Houston has a hard time on the opposite side of the floor. He is an elite off-the-bounce scorer.
They're facing the UCF Knights, who have won 4 straight games. They're in Houston right now, and Kingston Flemings has put himself in the NBA lottery conversation as well.
Absolutely. Don't forget about Koa Pete.
Yeah. And his teammate, Braden Burrs. Just an embarrassment of riches in the Big 12.
Incredible.
Here's Carr for 3. Hasn't found the bottom yet. But his team is up 21-9. Johnson, left-handed 3. Off the mark, 1 and done for the Buffs.
But a good look, that's when you want to shoot threes. Dak actually got that look by rim racing down to the rim.
Here's Ratai working on the smaller Josiah Sanders. And he can't take advantage. Dak clears. What would you like to see from this Colorado offense to get things going?
I was about to say, this is a good ball screen lineup for Colorado.
Dak can't get it to go.
You've got your 3 best ball handlers off pick and roll action. I'd like to see Dak and one of the guards in empty side pick and roll.
Agbim got fouled on his way to the hoop. A very active Obi Agman in the first 12 minutes of this contest.
We're talking a lot about the offense for Baylor. but their attention to detail so far defending Colorado's offense. This is a Colorado team that is a highly efficient offense. They're 49th in Ken Palm's adjusted offensive efficiency. It's just great ball pressure in the half court by Baylor.
Agbim off to a great start in the first half. He has 9, and usually it's Ogbe Agbim's success that dictates whether Baylor will have success. In wins, he's averaging over 12 a game with 47% from the arc. In losses, subtract 4 points per game and a lot of ineffectiveness from three-point range.
Yeah, he's the key. We talk all about Cameron Carr and Yesufu, but he is the key. He is the point man. And I mean, case in point, that win against a very good West Virginia team, he had 16 points.
He has 10 already in the first half. Again, the Bears are 10-2 when Obi scores in double digits. Isaiah Johnson finally gets a bucket for Buffalo.
It started out as good help defense on Johnson, but when you had two defenders, they both left because they couldn't figure out their spacing defensively.
That's the first 3 of the night for Colorado. Still, they're down 11 on the road, trying to make it 2 straight wins. Both of these programs trying for a modest 2-game winning streak. Powell, no good, and Colorado's got a chance to gain some momentum. Under 8 to go in the first half. Here's Hargress. Yes, sir.
Empty side pick and roll on the right wing. I like this lineup for that particular action.
Another freshman on the floor now for Tad Boyle. 0 in white. Ian Inman, who just turned 19 years old yesterday, is getting some burn in Baylor.
Three-point shots have been hard to come by for Colorado. They've only made 1, and that's the one right there. Can't leave Johnson.
Wade, LeBron James, he knows what it takes to be an elite level basketball player.
He looks like a freshman, but he doesn't play like a freshman. He's got the maturity of a senior. And it's also hard to believe Colorado was his only power conference offer coming out of high school in California. He was a top 20 player coming out of the state of California.
Currently averaging 18 a game in Big 12 play, the 17th highest scoring freshman in the nation, and 4th in the Big 12. And you know that is an illustrious list, with Darren Peterson and A.J. DeBonsa just ahead of him.
You know, I'm very anti-hot take, Rich, but that is, with those statistics, what you said and everything we've talked about, he is one of the best freshmen in the nation. Statistically, when you watch him and how he moves from minutes per game, usage rate, assists, three-point shooting, playing at an extremely high level.
Here's Yesufu. It's been a good first half for him, but he lost the handle there. Powell on the floor trying to call a timeout. Instead, Doug Sermon says it's going to be a jump ball.
Excellent defense by Sebastian Ronchik. I thought Yesufu over-dribbled on that. He had an opportunity for a step back. Right there, step back. But Ronchik rides it perfectly, sliding his feet. Good hustle getting on the deck.
Baylor's led throughout in this one. They're up 23-14, 7 minutes to go in the first half. What a needle-threading dime from Sebastian Ronchik, but it goes out of bounds off the hands of the Buffaloes.
It's always the passer's fault, but that was about as good of a dime as you can throw. Good action on the weak side.
That's now 7 turnovers for Tad Boyle's club. And they are really good at taking care of the basketball. They only average 9 turnovers a game.
Yeah, 19th best in the country.
Now Scott Drew wants to slow it down a bit. And Tunde Yesufu says, I got you, coach. Second 3 of the game, he has 10. 2 Bears in double digits already, and we have 6:20 to go in the first half. Here's McKaylee. Gets fouled on his way to the hole, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Let's take a look at this Yesufu 3. He's actually going to be setting a back screen for Carr. Carr's going to come off and essentially 2 go with 1. And it's simple, but you got 2 top 20 picks in the draft. Who do you choose? Pick your poison. 2 go with 1. The overhelp happens, leaves Yesufu wide open for the pick and pop.
Love that bird's eye view part.
That was great. I set that camera up myself earlier.
Got a nosebleed doing it. McKaylee off the mark on his first free throw. Another of Tad Boyle's freshmen. 20-year-old out of Israel. And McKaylee goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. Here comes Cam Carr. This Baylor team has a lead by 12 without Cam Carr contributing anything on the offensive side. Averaging 19 a game, and he has been skunked so far in this one.
You don't know why that foul was called a little late? Because there was an internal conversation happening. There's no way that Cameron Carr airballs a 10-foot jumper. Virtually impossible. So it was either blocked or his elbow or wrist were hit.
Carr, 77% free throw shooter this season, and he's got his first point of the night. 6th in scoring in Big 12 play. Cameron Carr, and just a spectacular look at shooting numbers. 52 from the field, 40 from beyond the arc, and as we mentioned, 77 from the free throw line.
You know, somewhat struggling, you know, from the field. Obviously hasn't made a field goal, but still affecting the game and making winning plays. 3 rebounds, 2 really good assists in this first half.
2 for 2 for Cam Carr, largest lead of the night. Baylor doubling up Colorado, 28-14, under 6 minutes to go in the first.
Really feel like Hargress has got to get going here for Colorado.
Ten on the shot clock. Johnson can't get the floater to go. And Williams tracks it down for Baylor. Tunde gets it to Agdam. And Agdam coughs it up. And it's going to be Colorado basketball. Again, a bit of a rarity. Obi Agdam, 10th in the nation in assist to turnover ratio.
I thought Holland on that drive did a nice job of maintaining his gap help integrity, which means that he didn't overhelp and he was able to stay in the gap while still recovering out to Agdam to get that deflection.
Caden Powell to the bench, 44 in green. And Michael Ratai, number 12 for Baylor, is back on the floor for Scott Drew. Now 2 big men, far away from the basket. Here's Hargress. Try to shoot over Ratai. Good defense by the Baylor Bears again. And a foul is called.
That was a great defensive possession for Baylor. Chasing over the screens. I mean, really, Isaac Williams put on a clinic there, chasing over pin down on the right side of the floor against Johnson.
So that's the 2nd foul on Obi. First Baylor Bear with multiple fouls in the first half. And now a timeout is called by Barrington Hargress and the Colorado Buffaloes. They've got to regroup and try and figure things out. They're down 14 with 5:09 to go.
Half court is having a significant impact on Colorado's ability to get drives and open lanes.
So Baylor's defense, which has been suspect at times this season, has come to play tonight against Colorado in front of the home folks. And they force another Buffaloes turnover, their 7th.
Doesn't Isaac Williams just make so many of those plays that goes against it? That's a team turnover for Colorado, and Williams won't get individual credit for that, but he made that happen.
That's Chris Pacey over at the scorer's table. Not quite sure what he's looking at. Might be a timing issue.
Because they're not supposed to review out-of-bounds calls at this time unless it's a coach's challenge.
They were checking the clock just to make sure everything is copacetic. It is 5:05 to go in the first half.
We're holding everybody accountable here tonight, Rich.
That's how we roll. Here's Carr. Now Agnew. He has 10 already tonight.
Oh, they had Carr in the lob. Had him.
8 on the shot clock. Wing 3 off the mark, and Carr can't track it down. Here's Jalen Holland into the post. The freshman McKaylee 2 feet in the paint. He powers it up and in.
Shot faking twice is what got him that shot. That was excellent patience and fundamentals by the big fella.
Here's Carr with the big man Dak on him. Ratai saves it to Carr.
Throw it up.
Here's the lob and the conversion by Tunde Yesufu. Another dime from Cameron Carr, this time to Yesufu on the alley-oop.
Cameron Carr isn't scoring a lot, but he is throwing some dimes here tonight in Waco to his teammate Yesufu.
Heard here and there.
Man, that's big time. I got to tell you, the Baylor's defense has been the story of the game, and that's 1A. 1B is they've been able to convert off those turnovers. Colorado already has 7 turnovers in this game. You mentioned earlier, Rich, it's a team that really only averages 9 turnovers a game.
Yep.
One of the best in the country.
Baylor has converted 8-0 in points off turnovers. They're also 5-0 in second chance points. So what does that tell you? They're winning the hustle stats as well.
It's the ultimate effort stat is rebounds.
Here's Yesufu, game-high dozen for the freshman. Ten on the shot clock for Baylor. Agnew, guarded 3, top of the key, no worries there. The third 3 of the night for Obi Agnew. Nice look. McKaylee blocked by Yesufu. And there is a lid on the rim for the Buffaloes. But again, great defensive effort by Baylor. And there's the first field goal of the game for Cam Carr. Largest lead of the night for the Bears.
This is really good stuff from Baylor, right? So Agram's got hit a tough shot, but that's his 3rd tough shot made tonight. Look at Yesufu, the closeout, timing up on the 7-footer Dak. My word, what a defensive play from Yesufu. And Carr ripping a 3, his first made shot of the game. Baylor's find their rhythm. Colorado seems to have no answer on either end of the floor.
Second extended run of the night for these Baylor Bears. 13-2 over the last 3 minutes and 49 seconds. And they're getting contributions all over the place. Most of this game, Mike, they've staked themselves to a double-digit lead without the assistance, at least offensively, scoring-wise, from their leading scorer, Cameron Carr. The last field goal was his first of the night. They're up by 20 now.
Adding to that, what do we talk about at the beginning of the game? The important thing for Baylor was moving the ball, ball movements, making sure the ball doesn't stick and play ISO. They've got 8 assists on 12 made field goals. That is the kind of offense that Scott Drew wants.
That's the Baylor basketball that has been missing for most of this season. A bucket out of a timeout. for McKaylee.
That's the first time that Colorado's really been able to take advantage of the fact that Baylor is switching 5. They got mouse in the house down low, and they went high-low immediately.
Now some dribble handoff from the Bears on offense.
You can tell Agnew wanted that.
4 to shoot. The ball's in Carr's hands. Deep 3. Back-to-back triples for 43 in green, Cam Carr.
Man, and he got the finger point from Scott Drew because they ran their offense, couldn't get anything clean. Oh, Hargress, that was just, Agnew completely fell asleep in on-ball defense.
Well, Cam Carr's now 2 for 4 from 3. Came into this game, Mike, 3 for 16 from beyond the arc in his previous 4 games, so that's a good sign. Under a minute and a half to go. It's been all Baylor in the first half. Johnson, pull up. Too strong. And here comes Carr. Takes it all the way himself, and Cam Carr has become unlocked. The third Bear in double digits in the first half. Dak from deep. And bodies hit the deck, and there's going to be a foul called, and it looks like it's going to be on Cameron Carr.
Cameron Carr in transition, keeps his body control. You know, when you see that play, what's really good about that, it's a small thing, but it's such an important thing. He keeps his eyes on the rim the whole time as he's falling down. I used to love listening to Kyrie Irving talk about finishing, and he always talked about how guards and wings always forget to keep their eyes on the rim all the way until the end, even if you're going to get hit. It's one of the keys to a great finisher.
Here's McKaylee at the line. The front end of the 1-and-1 goes. He has 5 points in the first half. Well, the stage is set, Mike O'Donnell. Super Bowl 60 is just a couple of days away. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks taking on Drake May and the Patriots for the Lombardi Trophy. Super Bowl 60, Sunday on NBC and Peacock. Who you got, bud?
Oh, I'm going to Patriots. Really enjoy watching Drake May play. I don't get a chance to see him that much because I'm a basketball sicko, and I'm just watching film till 2 o'clock in the morning usually. But the Patriots just, a couple down years. Hey, we're back in the Super Bowl. Incredible.
Second foul on the freshman, Ifeala. And that sends the big man, Caden Powell, to the line, 1-and-1. 62% from the line this season, but he looked pretty good on that one. Caden playing in front of friends and family in Waco. He grew up in this town, first ever Waco product on scholarship with the Bears. His mom, Connie, is a law professor here at Baylor.
A lot smarter than you and I can tell you that.
I would agree. So Powell with 4, the lead is up to 22 for the Baylor Bears. Hargress, now Johnson, turned it over. 3-on-1 for Baylor. And Carr misses the dunk. That was as easy a shot as he's had.
What a smart play by Powell, pulling it back out, not forcing anything, knowing there's extra time on the clock.
Now 7 to go in the first half. Last shot time for Baylor. Williams got it to go off the window. And the first half ends the way the first half started.
First half. He took, his first shot was not a good shot. He forced it. After that, he absolutely let the game come to him. He started the game 0 for 4 from the field. But then he just let the game come to him, and all of a sudden, 3, bucket, found his rhythm.
Tough 2 by Yesufu, but he got his own miss and got fouled. That's going to be the second foul on the freshman Jalen Holland, 11 in white, for Colorado, sending Tunde Yesufu to the free throw line. Yesufu is someone I consider the forgotten freshman. Out of all these fabulous freshmen, you talked about some of them with Commissioner Brett Yormark. Tunde Yesufu came in as a possible lottery pick when he stepped on campus in Waco, and he's averaging 17 a game, 6 rebounds a game, couple of assists.
But that's still possible, Rich.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the rest of the season. There's a lot of college basketball left, number one. And number two, then you also have the NBA draft process as well. I mean, he is going to be in that, at worst, top 20 range in the NBA draft.
Baylor obviously no stranger to sending youngsters to the NBA. The only school with top 19 picks in the last 5 drafts, including VJ Edgecombe, who went in the lottery a year ago.
It's the third block for Baylor in this game.
Yesufu, bounce pass. Powell lost the handle. Picked up by Taco. Johnson stepped into a 3 there and is off to the left. Here's Williams along the baseline. Lost the handle and a little bit of sloppy play to start out the second half.
Cam Carr is 11th in the Big 12 in blocks at 6'5", plays the wing position, and that's his 30th block of the season.
So Isaac Williams just got whistled for his 3rd foul. The Baylor point guard forced to the bench. That's really the only downside to what's been going on so far in this game for the Baylor Bears. Michael Ratai comes on in his place, so a little bit of a bigger lineup for Scott Drew on the floor now.
Nice cuts.
Johnson, patient, can't get it to go. But stolen away by Sanders. Now Holland steps into a 3 and drains it.
You got a couple steals and deflections for Colorado. I mean, things that give you life, that give you energy.
That was freshman to freshman to freshman for a 3. Freshman gets the assist, the bucket, and the hockey assist. Here's Agnew. Led all scorers with 13 in the first half. And he almost added to that total, in and out on the 3. Holland forces the issue. Lost the handle, but drew the foul.
There is no question. There is a renewed sense of toughness from Colorado. They're doing a great job of taking defense and turning into offense. There's a freshman, the freshman, the freshman, the trifecta, as Rich eloquently said. I wasn't sure if I was going to say this, after just scouting Colorado. It's my first time seeing them in person this season. You see all the freshmen, so you think of the potential. And I hope it is that for this Colorado team and Tad Boyle. I mean, nowadays you look at a freshman or sophomore that plays really well and you hop in the portal and you just leave. That may not be the case for that trio, because it feels like that they bought in to the Tad Boyle culture and player development system, and I hope they stay. I think it'd be great for college basketball and the Big 12 if that trio stayed.
In the last few years, retention has become such a buzzword for all these head coaches. Keeping the players you want to keep on your roster. Johnson lost the handle, a little out of control.
Guess who made that happen?
The lob to Carr, who dunked it on his own teammate that time. Caden Powell went up for that thinking the alley-oop was for him, and Cam Carr swooped right over him for it. Hargris, his first 3, he has 9. Woo, Cam Carr, slow start to this game, but he's already showing the full repertoire.
And that was elevation.
Known more as a dunker when he transferred mid-semester last year from Tennessee. but he has been an excellent three-point shooter for most of this season. Agben now has 15, his first bucket of the second half. You look at this Baylor team, Mike, and you go, how is this team 2-7 and 0-4 at home coming in Big 12 play?
Well, I think it would be two things. You asked me to go one defensive key and one offensive key. I would say defense, it would be, oh, man. Powell took a tough fall there.
And they're going to take a look at this, and Caden Powell, immediately after he hit the deck, was calling for an intentional foul. That's going to be on Taco Ifeala, his third foul. And there's a timeout on the floor, and Doug Sermons is immediately going over to the scores table to check it out. We'll step aside with them with 16:27 to go. All Baylor Bears in front of the home crowd. That's what I would describe.
I would have received so many flopping technical fouls if that was a rule when I was playing.
Oh, man. Rich Hollenberg, Mike O'Donnell, having some fun here in Foster Pavilion. So are the Baylor Bears. They're halfway to 100, and they lead by 21 over Colorado. Cam Carr, catch and release. Looked good off his hand, but it was off the mark.
That's fool's goal defense for Colorado. You can't overhelp on Cameron Carr on ball side like that in post entry.
Here's Hargress. Tad Boyle wanted his team to attack the switches. They didn't do it there. Holland does and gets a foul call.
You know, that's the second time that Jalen Holland has utilized his shot fake to draw a foul. He's very good at that. Another talented freshman. Catch rip. You see that low rip? Maybe could have got away with an offensive foul, but two shot fakes. Smart play from Holland.
So the freshman out of Las Lunas, New Mexico, goes to the line. He has 8 points already, including 5 in the second half. And with that basket, Jalen Holland has already matched his career high as a collegiate player with 9.
Something to monitor here if Colorado's going to come back. Isaiah Johnson started off hot in the first 5 minutes of the game, and he was good. He was in his flow. Even just the extra pass orchestrating the offense. He has gone cold as ice.
And the one thing that is disappointing for the Bears faithful right now, in the second half when the opposition is shooting into the student section, they're holding up cupcakes. Because if a player on the opposing team misses 2 free throws consecutively, everybody here gets cupcakes from Magnolia. So far, the Buffaloes are spoiling the party.
Does that include the announcers table?
We will make sure it does.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a Colorado foul on number 24, Barrington Hargress.
It's Cameron Carr just playing hard, period. We could break down all the X's and O's analytics you want. Cameron Carr wanted that more. He flew in for the offensive rebound. He saw that the shot was going to come off short. It's just good hustle from Carr.
Now Carr with the ball, working on Hargress. Johnson checks Agben. 10 on the timer for Baylor. Yesufu, wing 3, got it. Sweet stroke from Tunde Yesufu, his 3rd triple of the night.
He was just 1 of 5 from 3 in their win versus West Virginia. What a good sign for Baylor when he's making threes.
And he is 4 points shy of his 9th 20-point game as a freshman in the Big 12. There's another freshman, Josiah Sanders, getting in the scoring column for the first time tonight. Caden Powell, nice soft touch off the glass. Baylor snapping a 4-game losing streak in their last win on the road in Morgantown against a good West Virginia team. Now looking to build a little momentum as they head into the second half of the Big 12 slate, trying to get their first.
It's just 24% from 3, but when he's in rhythm, he has a light green light to shoot them. If the feet are set, we got a clean look, we'll be able to let it go.
See, you're talking to someone who is partially colorblind, so light green, that would be lost on me.
My apologies. If he's got a little space and his feet are set, there he goes.
I'm glad I have you to dictate what the shades of green are for me. Here's Yesufu again. Why not? Got it again! The hottest hand in the building. Tunde Yesufu has 21 now.
Oh, you got to be up into Yesufu. I mean, it has to be a much higher sense of urgency on a closeout.
Colorado 3 for their last 3 from the field. Sanders got swallowed up by the defense, and they're going to call Isaac Williams for a foul, and that's a 4th foul on number 10 in green.
As Bengot Dak gets his feet set. Good looking form. And that's not a great closeout. Rick Majerus had one of the greatest quotes I ever heard about closeouts. He says, your mind takes away the shot, your body takes away the drive. I think it's a great teaching point to where you have to think about, okay, how close do I have to be when I close out? Is the shooter hot? Is he someone that's going to catch and shoot? But your body takes away the drive. Is he a right-handed driver? Is he a left-handed driver? Is it like catch and go? I've always loved that thought process on closeouts.
Inman, another freshman for Tad Boyle, misses the corner 3, and James Nagy grabs the rebound. Cam Carr fouled on the 3-point attempt by Bengot Dak. So when we come back, Cam Carr with 12 points on the game will go to the line and try to add to that total and extend the Baylor lead. Carr short on the first, and Tweety Carter, as good as he was as a player, and he was like a bowling ball, like a wrecking ball on the floor, dynamite scorer for Scott. He is the epitome of positivity.
He was Baylor's director of player development for 2 years, and then just got promoted to assistant coach back in May of 24. Great staff there that Scott Drew has. You see Ron Sanchez there, defensive mastermind.
The architect of the pack line defense. But you talk about Scott's coaching tree, and again, he's closing in on 500 wins. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he would be the first one to tell you his legacy is not going to be tied to his wins and losses. Part of his legacy is going to be the men he affected and impacted on his bench. And the coaches are part of that. John Jacobs, the head coach at Florida Atlantic. And the list goes on and on. Obviously, the most notable right now is Grant McCaslin, with a perennial contender in Texas Tech. All those guys, by the way, Mike, continuously on a text chain that Scott Drew mans. And if you ask any one of those dudes on that text chain, they say he spends way too much time texting them in the middle of the night.
Like all great mentors should, right?
Another 7-0 spurt by the Baylor Bears. And Tunde Yesufu is turning in one of his best games as a Baylor Bear. He has 23 points now on 9 for 14 shooting and 4 for 6 from 3-point range.
That's what you call scoring simply. That jab step, catch, rip, finishing between 2 defenders. He just plays with that great pace. You know, he can glide and he can bruise. Usually players are one or the other, but Yesufu can do both.
And a scorer supreme. 3,600 plus points at St. Joe's in California, the all-time leading scorer in the Golden State in high school. Ron Sheik off the mark. And Tunde, like he was shot out of a cannon, gets fouled and will go to the line. The foul's going to go on Isaiah Johnson.
I mean, Yesufu's taken 15 shots in this game. Has he taken one bad shot? Maybe one in that first half, deep fade away along the baseline, but I think all of his shots have been good shots. I mean, that's clearly a foul. Johnson goes in, grabs his arm.
And he's sneaking up on a career high in a Baylor uniform. That's 28 earlier in the season, and he now has 24. Well, every Monday night, it's Peacock NBA Monday. Next week, it's Bucks versus Magic, followed by Thunder and Lakers streaming live on Peacock and NBCSN. In that Magic and Bucks game, of course, represented by a Buff and a Bear. Tristan Da Silva playing for the Orlando Magic. He's a former Colorado Buffalo. And Taurean Prince, the veteran from Baylor, playing for the Bucks these days.
Tristan Da Silva's grabbed a couple starts for the Orlando Magic this season. He is playing his way heavy into the rotation. I thought that was a great draft pick by the Magic.
Well, Baylor, as you would imagine, up 66-38, has had a few extended runs. Right now, they're in the middle of a 9-0 run. That's their longest one tonight. And Scott Drew was telling us he practices end-of-game scenarios with his team, but they really haven't had to practice any end-game scenarios in-game because most of their games are decided by at least 3 possessions. Tonight, it's going to be no different, but at least they're on the winning end of this one. Johnson, if at first you don't succeed.
Well, there's a lot of teaching opportunity there of when you go back and you look at film of the games that you lost by 8, by 10. Where were those 2 or 3 possessions to make it and create those late game situations? That's a great look from Agbum. What a dime to Najee.
And the crowd loves it, and deservedly so. James Najee has gotten nothing but hate in every game he's played in on the road. But the Baylor faithful know what a good young man he is. He's done nothing wrong in his trip to Waco, Texas. Again, if you're not familiar with the story, he's just 21 years old, but he's the first former NBA draft pick to score in college after being drafted.
Watch the roll, and Agbum could read it all the way through as Taco was late sprinting back into his roll help position.
So just out of curiosity, since we mentioned James Najee, where do you fall on all of that in this day and age where it really is the Wild West and there are no rules in place to prevent someone like James Najee coming back and playing college ball?
Yeah, I think I fall into the camp of, I like James Najee. I hope he, and he's, oh, by the way, he's still getting back to being healthy and get his condition. He's not even there yet. You know, I have no issues with James Najee. For me, the system, if you're drafted, if you get drafted in the NBA, if you're in a 2-way contract or an Exhibit 10 contract,
is diehard.
Last time I called a game at Baylor here, actually, there were Magnolia cupcakes, at the scorer's table. Absolutely delicious. Did I have one before the game? Yes, I did.
Michael Rataj whistled for his 3rd foul, so that sends Alon McKaylee to the line. Now, Isaiah Johnson just missed his most recent free throw. Let's listen for the crowd if McKaylee misses this one. He did. Am I right? Does it have to, can it be 2 players who miss and you still get cupcakes?
There's actually multiple students that are putting hands up, very confused like you, Rich.
We're going to need clarification on this now.
Technicality here.
Someone get to Chip Gaines, please. Get him a microphone. My understanding of the rule in Foster Pavilion was 2 consecutive missed free throws by the opposition equals cupcakes.
We'll have to get a ruling on the next break. I'll see what I can do. Have my lawyer reach out.
Right. Where's Brett Yormark when you need him?
That's right. Well, that's a guy right there.
Nevertheless, 9 minutes to go. It's been all Baylor. They're up 27 on the Colorado Buffaloes, looking for their 2nd straight victory and first Big 12 home win of the year. 5 on the shot clock. Ronchik, all elbows and shoulders. Misses. And Carr snags the rebound. Cam Carr has 14 points, 6 rebounds, now 7 and 5 assists. Agben off the mark. Ratai grabbed the rebound, and the foul is going to be on the floor on Isaiah Johnson.
Baylor's shooting 50% from the field for the game. They've made 9 threes. They've only missed 2 free throws. They're 13 of 15 from the free throw line. And they've scored 15 points off of 10 Colorado turnovers. That's a recipe for winning a lot of games in the rest of your schedule. And the next 3 games for Baylor are an absolute gauntlet. At Iowa State, got BYU at home, a non-conference matchup versus Louisville, who's good enough to be a Sweet 16 team. A lot of opportunities to grab a couple quad 1 wins.
That Baylor defense has been stellar all night. And once again, no buckets for the Buffaloes. Here's a look at that Baylor upcoming schedule. 3 straight top 25 teams on tap. Number 7, Iowa State. They're going to have to go to Ames for that one. Then they welcome A.J. DeBonsa, Richie Saunders, Rob Wright, the former Bear, into Waco. And then they have an interconference matchup with the 24th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. We take another break. We're looking for cupcake clarification. Michael Ratai misses the first free throw.
Rich, I think it's important to add, you know, when you see Ratai at the free throw line, Baylor is doing this defensively and showing great efficiency on the offensive end with a starter out, with no Dan Skillings, who's out with a knee injury day to day. But that's, you lose a starter, usually, you know, kind of throws you off rhythm, maybe off kilter a little bit on either end of the floor, but I've seen the dial turn to 11 here tonight.
Yeah, and this has been nothing new for the Baylor Bears. Unfortunately, they've suffered because of it, but they've mostly gone with a 7-man rotation this year due to injury. Now the double team comes near half court. Yesufu with 7 on the timer. Step back 3. Why not if you're Tunde tonight, but that one off to the right. Ronchik's been like a bull in a china shop with not much to show for it.
Well, Coach Boyle really does like Ronchik. Just a sophomore, 6'11". He told me at Big 12 Media Day, he's not Tristan da Silva, but he sees a lot of Tristan da Silva's game in Ronchik, just in terms of his versatility. He was really good in their win versus TCU. Dropped 17, he was 3 or 4 from 3, grabbed 6 rebounds. It's that rangy wing that Tad Boyle loves to recruit.
And the cupcakes were out. We did get clarification, Mike. And unfortunately, it has to be a single player missing 2 consecutive free throws for free cupcakes. So far, no dice in the cupcake department, but everything else going the way of the Baylor Bears tonight.
Well, we live in a society, you've got to have rules. I respect the rules.
Now Isaac Williams controlling the point for Scott Drew, playing with 4 fouls. Williams, 10 and green, gives it up to Carr. Here's Agben, 2-point range, and he gets the shooter's touch.
He's very good coming off of pin downs or stagger screens and curling them. Does a good job getting his feet underneath him, playing with pace.
Here's McKaylee. And a late whistle, and the foul's going to go on Cam Carr, his 3rd.
Oh boy, that looked really clean to me. Good recovery. Ooh, that's clean. I think that's a missed call. That would have been Carr's third block of the game.
Yeah. I am sure if the score was not what it was, Scott Drew would be up in arms over that one. The new Peacock original series, Ponies, is certified fresh. Amelia Clark and Haley Lou Richardson stars two persons of no interest who become CIA operatives in 1970s Moscow. Binge Ponies now only on Peacock. Persons of no interest is how they described you and me coming into this game tonight, by the way.
Me? You and me?
Well,
wow, man.
I mean,
No, I'm just...
it's a buddy show, so I had to rope you into that description.
Little jab. Yeah, I understand. I understand. They walked in, and I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for you. I mean, you're a celebrity in this place. I was just thankful that you and I could ride in the same rental car together.
Let's be more specific, the same minivan.
Oh, the Chrysler Pacifica was fantastic. Very smooth.
In style, baby. And yeah, I'm an unabashed fan of Waco, Texas. Been coming here for years, calling Baylor games for years. It is a fantastic town, terrific people, and they have been treated over the last 20 years to a top-notch program. I used to say, Baylor's not a blue blood, but they're a green blood, and they're pretty darn close to being one of those elite-type basketball programs when you look at their recent run of success.
Well, and their ability to recruit talent at a high level, especially high school talents. I mean, you just assume now that there's going to be at least one pro on the roster every year at Baylor.
With that free throw, Obi Agbim has a new season high for Baylor. That's 19 for Obi. Baylor's been up, and they've been up big seemingly this entire contest. And this, at this point, feels like one of those games that Tad Boyle's just going to crumple it up and throw it out.
Yeah, because they looked really good against a solid, more than solid TCU team. I mean, TCU hasn't had enough talent. I think a lot of people felt that they could have been, you know, one of those sleeper teams in the Big 12 that could potentially fight for an at-large bid. Struggled as of late, but still a great backcourt. And they easily handled TCU, 187-61. Had lost 6 straight coming into that, and they were up 28 against TCU.
You know, you talk about Baylor and their ceiling and how they could end up with a strong showing in the second half of this Big 12 season, becoming one of those bubble teams in the field of 68. I think Michael Rattay might be one of the X factors for that to happen.
I think that and Obi Agbim has to play at a very high level for the rest of the season. He can't just have an average night. He can't. Carr's going to always get his points. Same thing with Yesufu. But Agbim and Rattay have to be huge for Baylor the rest of the season.
Skip pass. Here's Inman, and he's good.
Baylor has 3 quad 1 wins. They don't have any bad losses. There's no quad 3 loss or quad 4 loss. They just haven't been able to steal anything on the road.
The no look off the hands of Najee out of bounds. It'll be Colorado basketball.
Plenty of opportunity, though. We mentioned it before. They're at Iowa State, got BYU at home, non-conference Louisville. That game will be played at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. They still got to play Arizona and Houston. And UCF.
Inman kept the pivot foot down. The fans wanted to travel. Ronchik for 3.
We're just talking a little bit more Big 12. Rich, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Who would you say is your Big 12 Coach of the Year?
Ooh. You know, I don't think there's any way you can't say it's Tommy Lloyd at this point. I mean, the team is undefeated, one of only 2 undefeateds in the nation, and they're going to be favored in every game that they play.
But if I could add, the job that Johnny Dawkins has done at UCF, I mean, picked 14th in the preseason.
Yeah.
Nobody thought, it's not that nobody thought that, hey, maybe they could finish middle of the pack. Rich, they may end up being a 5 or 6 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Well, it's interesting to bring that up because we both know we're sitting here watching a Baylor team that returned no players from last year. Johnny Dawkins had the same exact thing.
That's right.
With UCF. No returning rotational players. 0 points returning from last year for Johnny Dawkins. And it has been a remarkable turn of events in Orlando.
Look at this defense from Najee. Wow.
And the crowd appreciates it. Inman off the window. I mean, UCF has had 2 court storms already. 3 if you count the 2 they had against Texas Tech.
Yeah, and you called that one against Texas Tech.
I was actually on the call for the Kansas one as well. So they have 2 top 25 wins. They absolutely have an NCAA tournament resume.
Oh yeah, the season ended today. They'd be in that, somewhere between that 5 and 8 seed.
Sweet stroke from Cam Carr. He has 18, one off his season average now. Bounce pass, Dak, and Inman's putting on a show. He has 3 straight buckets for the Colorado Buffaloes. No surprise, another freshman for Tad Boyle.
And the future is bright in Colorado. I hope this crew sticks together. I really do. It could be pretty special for Tad Boyle in the next 2 years.
Ratai, 2 feet in the paint, gets it to go. First field goal of the game for Michael Ratai.
He's got that kind of lumbering, old school, savvy, high IQ feel to his game.
Yeah, they came into the season thinking he could be the hub of their offense, and it just has not turned out that way. Scott Drew telling us Michael Ratai is a fantastic young man. He's a really good ball player and a really hard worker. Some people in this transfer portal culture take a little bit longer to assimilate to a new offense and defense than others.
And no better time for Michael Ratai to figure it out than now, because Baylor has to start stringing up a couple quad 1 wins. Cameron Carr filling it up all game long. Baylor, absolutely. It's so fun. Seton Hall's an interesting team, you know, kind of one of those almost bubble teams. They're 16-7, struggled as of late, but Shaheen Holloway's done a really good job. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country.
They will suffocate you, and I don't think Shaheen Holloway gets nearly enough credit for how good he gets his Seton Hall teams to play on the defensive end. Here in the Big 12, I mean, everyone talks about Houston and Iowa State, and even Texas Tech defensively is always traditionally good. But East Coast people know how tough it is to play against the Pirates. Isaac Williams is fouled out. So now basically, unless Scott Drew decides to empty his bench, he'll be going with 6 players the rest of the way. Only 2:01 to go.
Sanders is a really talented freshman that couldn't really get it going tonight. Just 5 points. I always like when he's in ball screen. I think he's really good navigating pick and roll action. But just Colorado couldn't get in their offense at all because of Baylor's suffocating on-ball pressure.
Now Yesufu, 25 on the night. Make it 27 for Tunde Yesufu. 1 off his career high.
That big jump stop, the balance, the spin. Ooh, tough ball.
It just looks like an NBA move, right?
No question about it.
Is that, would you describe that as a Barkley? Is that what they call a Barkley?
No.
That big dribble down into the post?
Well, that is a Barkley is when you start at the three-point line and then you back your defender down. But that was more of a drive. Is when you start at the three-point line and you essentially just turn your back, and it's like you're posting up at the three-point line. That was close, but that was more of Yesufu trying to rip and go.
So you need at least what, 3 or 4 dribbles to make it considered a Barkley?
Yeah, I would think so. But your back's got to be turned right away. It's like you're posting up at the three-point line. Yeah.
Well, you just look at Tunde's body, and he just is the embodiment of a mismatch. Too big for guards, too fast for forwards. And he has 27 tonight to lead the charge for the Baylor Bears, who are up 24 with 90 seconds to go. We'll step aside for 30.
The Disney Resorts Collection is the most magical place to stay at the most magical place on Earth. And with extra time at any of the 4 theme parks, why would you stay anywhere else? Start saving today.
.116 to go. It's been all Baylor all night. They're going to end up with a 2-game winning streak after taking down Colorado in this one. Coming off a win on the road in Morgantown against West Virginia. And the road does not get any easier. That is an understatement. Next game on the road in Ames to take on Iowa State, followed by a game here against BYU, and then in Fort Worth, they take on the number 24 Louisville Cardinals. That one's stolen away. Holland at the other end.
I mean, it's hard to check in the game this late. Have your feet and hands ready to go. Everybody wants the walk-ons to make a play. It's not that easy.
And now the Baylor reserves are on, and you know the Baylor faithful wants someone to get a bucket. Instead, Obi Agham's gonna just hold the ball and the time will run out. And Scott Drew has career win number 497 in his career. It's the Baylor Bears'